Hi everyone, how's everyone doing? I hope everyone is doing great and having the best time. I just wanted to come in here and talk to you guys a little bit. I recently watched a movie called HAQ. It talks about a case of India in 1980s, the Shah Bano case. You would have heard. So let's just discuss that a little bit, just to see what we can unravel over there in that dynamic. Definitely, it would be something that is going to provide us some perspective in our own life as well, especially to all the women who are following me. I want to see all the ladies who are watching this drop a comment, say hi, or just like the video. That'll be awesome. So basically, Huck is a movie that I watched recently. It is one of the films that everyone must watch, besides having like brilliant performances by all the leads. It has Yami Gautam, it has this girl Vartika Singh. I've met her once when I was in Mumbai. I was just like in a party and she was over there and she's lovely. So definitely, her acting was so brilliant. I was just blown over, and it has some amazing, amazing songs that I am using on reels. So definitely, but also it has a very important message. It has a very important socio cultural development that we must understand a little bit, just to understand the society, and the role and the situations that women have to navigate from. It revisits the landmark 1980s Shah Bano case. It was like an extraordinary legal and the moral moment in which a woman, a Muslim woman, went to court against her husband to claim maintenance. This was just so unthinkable in India of 1970s. Nowadays we hear a lot of normalization around separation initiated by the woman, but earlier it was just like usually an act of abandonment that would happen from the male side. The central truth that the film deals with is just to reinforce just a simple and the often denied right of maintenance. Maintenance, it's not charity. It is not like some favor that you're doing to a woman if you are providing her maintenance. Parenthood is created by two people. It was not something that the woman could do on her own by herself. It is made out of, is born out of a man and a woman. So like, how can the entire burden of responsibility be expected to fall on just one person, and usually the woman? And why the situations are such that a woman has to go to court to make the other party understand that this is something that is due to her, and it is not something that is she's begging for. It is something that is entitled to her. In the film, the husband, he questions Shah Bano, saying that, hey, you have left me, you have taken the children with yourself, then why are you now asking me for money? If you were not able to, if you need anything from me, you can just come over here, or you can just drop the kids. So this is something that he was reasoning. He's a lawyer in this movie, and I think in the real life as well, he was a well-off person. So he is reasoning with her. He's trying to make her understand that how she's wrong. He's trying to play all these mind games with her. So this was just like a disturbing idea to propose, saying that, hey, what was she supposed to do in this situation? Abandon her children, leave their future uncertain? Like a man who is not honoring the woman he married, out of his own free will, out of his own choice, he's not honoring that woman. He's not on the same page with the woman. Then how he would be able to justify the kids that are born out of that equation? especially when he has swiftly moved on into a parallel life, into a second marriage, and going to be expecting more children out of that. So definitely children from the first marriage would be treated as second class citizens, if not immediately, then eventually that is going to happen. You know what? Time exposes a person's true character. However, whatever he would be telling her sweet nothings, but his actions do not really match up to his declarations. The husband is seen manipulating Shah Bano for years, lying to her, keeping her emotionally suspended like a placeholder, something just to fill the space until somebody else more suited, more of his taste could come in. He offers love of convenience and confusion. When the second wife, uh, finally confronts Shahbano that, hey, you were never the first choice. You were just somebody who was there when I was not around, and you were just somebody who was convenient for him. Um, and he never loved you or accepted you in the first place. And you may be the first wife, but I am his first love. Something like that, she says. And that scene is so powerful. Um, so definitely Banu reasons with her. Later on in the movie, Banu says that, hey, you could not handle the disrespect that you felt from me, but you did not love that person enough to sort of cover up his lies, this facade that he's playing in front of me, like, I'm the first wife and everything. You are not able to you know keep up that facade and take some sort of disrespect or some sort of inconvenience from me, and you just snapped at me. Then how do you expect me to every day take these humiliations? So this was something that really told that Bano was a woman of substance. She was somebody who was thinking about herself, about her situations, and she was not going to take everything lying down. You know, yet she waits long enough to witness the final act of abandonment that would come. She made a very simple demand that, hey, let's spend this anniversary together, and we always go watch a movie, so let's just go watch a movie together. It's a favorite movie. But in this scene, her personhood was completely denied. He just didn't understand that this mattered to her. Her personhood was denied. She felt that she would not no longer matter in this arrangement, in this life. And this was just close to strangulation that she could get without actually being killed. Parts of her were being strangled daily. So that was a moment she walked away. She chose her dignity, she chose her self-respect, she chose her truth and her faith over sort of attachment that she had with her house, with her husband, with her identity of as a wife of this famous person, powerful person. But she walked away from everything, and she chose a difficult life, managing on her own, getting by in the world. Especially India of 1970s was very different than India of today. And people would just blame and shame her. They would just make general life difficult for her in and her parents. So definitely was a very difficult situation for her. But she chose that. Her marriage was already seeming like a deceit, a fraud, and she just could not see herself there living in sidelines like she never mattered, and be made irrelevant and unwelcomed in the very house that she built with the person that she chose. She just could not uh, take that, you know. So now when she walks away, she feels alive, she feels morally alive, spiritually alive. She is emotionally supported by her father, she is emotionally supported by her faith. She is seen reading the Quran, and reasoning out of the learnings that she has gathered from Quran. She chooses to be with the truth that she knows is divine, the truth that she knows is God ordained. She chooses to live with that truth instead of just agreeing and just being in some sort of like silent compliance with whatever the husband and the society was telling her was her fate. So Shah Bano, she was not merely just a divorced woman, who wants maintenance, who is just seeking some money to get by. Uh, she was a living being. She was like a person, a whole person on her own, and she was asserting her worth in the world. She spoke her truth. Always, she spoke what she felt, and she spoke it out. She lived her truth, even at the cost of suffering and social backlash. It is not that the husband was struggling financially. He could have supported her if he wanted to, but she simply did not matter enough to him. He was not moved by her tears, he was not moved by her sorrows, he was not uh, her discomfort, her uh, sadness did not do anything for him. What mattered to that man was his pride, his ego, his reasoning, his patriarchal entitlements. That they were more important to him than acknowledging the experience that this person, who he shares 3 children with, who he has spent considerable amount of life living with. So he was just gonna betray everything to keep his patriarchal entitlement intact. He never loved her. That was quite certain in how the movie played out. So he never loved her in the first place. She was just unfortunate, that she met him at the time when she was looking for a companion in her life, and he was also like sort of looking for somebody to settle down with and play house with. He was just fooling himself. He was just trying to get over, uh, just sort of move on from something. But she was just convenient for him because she was also fond of him, you know and this is actually the very base nature of man. When they want to extract something out of the woman, they would use love and attachment and intimacy as tools to uh, play at her and to get whatever they want, because then they become the softer targets. If they reciprocate, they become the softer target and they can just get whatever they want, like that. So this is something that we must remember, that whenever we are getting into some arrangement, just make sure that the guy likes you 100 times more than you like the guy. That is something that you can, some insight that you can get out of this. Also, one thing that the film exposes is this often overlooked role that elderly women play in sustaining patriarchy. The husband's mother, she was actively enabling this patriarchal behavior of her son. She participated in his second marriage without informing the first wife. I mean, how rude. I mean, how could she? And then she dismisses Shah Banu's pain by telling her that, hey, you're not the first woman to suffer. Too often, women are the first enforcers of patriarchal norms, commenting on other women's bodies, diminishing their worth, forcing them into competition. Your body has changed since childbirth. You're nothing special. What do you even see in her? So these kind of comments, they are just to belittle, to sort of like, sideline the woman. This internalized misogyny keeps the cycle alive. What distinguishes Shah Bano is that she thinks beyond herself. She thinks about her daughter. She recognizes the terrifying message society is sending to girls that a woman's identity is so fragile that she must cling to a man no matter how badly he treats her. Choosing independence threatens their very survival and that of her children. Society offers women an illusion of safety within marriage, even as their personhood is stripped away daily. At the same time, a woman who insists on dignity becomes an eyesore, someone inconvenient and unacceptable. Bano was able to find meaning in her life, that she is a valuable woman. She should not be suffering wrongs passively. She did a court case against her husband to demand maintenance. This was something that husband could have easily managed out of his pocket, but he was not going to because of his ego, his pride, his patriarchal entitlement. He just did not value her enough to, see that worth in her to give that, and also Shabano, she won her case in Supreme Court in 1980s. It was around 1985 when she won her case, and but she was defeated by the government of the day. She was Her case was caught in the politics of that times, and the central government, they passed a law called the Muslim Women Protection Law, which it didn't protect them, it just stripped away whatever sort of entitlements, whatever maintenance as a right policy that it entitled the Muslim women. So that bill didn't help their case at all. And if you want to know more about the political background of that time in which this case was set and why the government did that, you can type Bano in the comments, Bano, and I can give you a nice sort of a political background. But in this video, we want to be focusing on the emotional turmoil the woman goes through when something like that happens, the women after that, they are just left exposed to the powers of ulemas, of the shariat law, of the social law, of their community, and these are often interpreted by these are often interpreted by men, and they just want to maintain a tight grip and control over a woman's life. So this is a double-edged sword that women live with, like silent submission, promises of protection, while self-respect. So this is a so so this is a double-edged sword that women live with: silent submission, promises protection, but demanding self-respect invites punishment. Women like Shah Bano, they have kept moral law of justice alive by refusing to accept any false bargain. Even today, these patterns persist. We see the case of Mary Combe. It took her a long time to finally quit her marriage, in which she was not supported financially. Her money was mismanaged by her husband, leading to eventual drift and breakdown of their marriage. Even in Mahabharata, Draupadi had to rely on Krishna to save her grace. We are really definitely like, we can only rely on the gods. History repeatedly shows that women submit themselves fully in love, in relation, while men often lack the capacity or courage to do the same. I hope you liked my analysis, and you would like to share this video with the people that probably can benefit from it. And definitely, if you agree some of the ideas that I presented here, do give this video a thumbs up and do comment. I read all of your comments. Thank you.